Here is my avocado plant that's 7 years old. I think it got root rot. I replanted it last late summer, and it didn't like it. So I just basically took the plant. The soil was much lower in here. It was like compressed, but it was struggling. So I decided to repot it in this same pot and then lift it up a little bit. Anyways, it didn't respond very well to that. So needless to say, I think this thing will be history. You can see the black tip I cut back, thinking maybe that would promote growth, but that's not going to happen. So we'll put this in a pail of water. I think that's our last ditch effort, and see if it responds there, but I doubt it. I think it's definitely dead. So something about the medium. The medium is a Kellogg from Home Depot, but since I've used this to repot 2 different avocado plants, they both got this root rot signs. They got brown tipping on the leaves and they're not growing very well. So I'm going to try a different medium. And so my medium is going to be peat moss. So probably 3/4 peat moss, 1/4 vermiculite, and perlite. And we're going to start with that. We need oxygen and aeration in this pot. Now, one thing is for certain, is true. A guy told me on YouTube that the roots only go about 1 foot down, and you know, once there's a pocket below, for some reason the bottom of the roots will rot. So I think it's okay to have your roots crowded in a pot. I think the plant thrives on it as long as you give it enough water. So that's my take on it today. So let's get started. This is my plant. Make sure we do got peat moss in here. And I'm going to take some vermiculite. And we'll take some perlite. And we'll mix that all up. This is going to be the start of my mix. Or this is it. That's all I'm going to be putting in here. I mean, my roots need to be breathing. And one of the other problems with growing avocados, when you're growing avocados from seed, the rootstock or the roots are not that suitable for production of fruit. I mean, they will work in the right environment, but realistically you should get a rootstock like a Duza or a Torah Canyon. You want to get that rootstock grafted to your variety of avocado that you like. The rootstock is proven, it's strong, it doesn't have root rot, or it's not susceptible to root rot. So that are the big, but I am right now just trying to save this plant so I can use it for cuttings later. And I'm still trying to find rootstock. And I can't find anybody out there that wants to sell like 10 of them. They want to sell 100 at a time. Anyways, this ratio here looks pretty good. Look at it, doesn't even pack really. But that's okay. I like it. I like the idea that it's going to aerate. And we need to get that oxygen needs to be into those roots. So that's the step we're going to take here today. We will inspect the roots today of the troubling avocado plant, and we'll start that next. I like it. Okay, adios amigos. We talk about avocados today, and the avocados, my avocados are really struggling. I have one downstairs that's 7 years old, and it's probably dead. But we're gonna look today, look at the roots and see what we got. This guy here is a Haas. It's struggling as well. You can see that the tips of this new growth is brown. So something's going on, right? And the leaves are falling off. They always do fall off, the leaves, but usually we'll see progression here quickly. So what I'm going to do is dig this thing out, and we're going to change the soil, and we'll inspect these roots, and I'll show you what we got. You fuck. Jesus. Wow. I'm kind of impressed. The roots look kind of a whitish, which is good. I like to see that. So I think we're just going to cut these roots back a little bit. But there is new good shoots here, so I'm not sure why. Either way, the roots look not too bad. I can't complain. I'll snip some of these off, and we're going to put this in a smaller pot because I know I can get away with it. And then I'm going to give it a drink of half peroxide. So I'm going to add 1 part peroxide to 2 parts water, and we'll soak these roots with that. Maybe that'll clean up some of this fungus or whatever's going on. But that's the approach I'm going to take, and I have a more aerated soil. So this plant, in my opinion, looks pretty good. I'm going to snip this long stuff off because it will promote growth anyways. But yeah, so we'll get that started right now. Now here, we'll just trim off these roots a little bit. That should be pretty good. Jesus, I tell you, people, I get soil all over the floor. I even put this box, it's still not enough. Oh, I tell you. So shake off this old soil, I don't know. Got more problems, and it could be just, you know, you have seed lots that are just not that good for the year, right? And they just struggle. So you got to get a good seed. I suggest you plant 20 seeds, see which one is really strong and comes up, you know, robust, and then pick that one. I mean, seed lots every year is different, so just keep that in mind. So I gotta dig. You know, I think this will work yet in here. This was the original pot this was in, and it was thriving in there really nice. And I don't know, once I put it into this thing, it don't like it. It don't like it. So I got my little drain rock right here. I put that at the bottom of the hole in a teriyaki on the clay pot. So now what I'm going to do, put this magic soil that I just pre-mixed. Good. It's all about genetics, whether you got it or don't, right? The plants are the same way. So, put this guy back in here. Kind of tuck them into the soil a little bit. Can you see that? Anyways, so we'll prop it up a little bit once we get some more soil in here. And that's frustrating when you lose a plant at 7 years old and it was so pretty, so predictable, and then it just dies. That was the 7-year-old plant. So I like to pull it up, you know, and then stuff like this. Try to get my height. It's good. It's really liking it. But there's a truth to avocados. They are hard to grow and maintain. So just keep that in mind. It's just the way it is. And, you know, they say it's overwatering and blah, 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 but it's not. It's just, they love water. Just got to dry out. They have to just aerate out, you know, but you got to get oxygen to them, those roots. They got to breathe. Need a little more soil, damn it. So there we go. Tuck that down again. I'll make a little bit more soil, then we should be good to go with this guy. I'll get him a little later. I'll just top him off a little bit. Actually, it's not too bad though. But anyways, that's it. So we'll hit it with a mixture of some peroxide. 1 part peroxide to 2 parts water, and then just soak it with that. That'll cleanse those roots, and maybe if there's any, you know, root rot starting, we can, you know, alleviate that. But I thought the roots actually looked okay. They were yellowish. That's good. We want the more lighter side of it. If it's more brown and deep brown, it's toast. So anyways, that's the start of this one. You can see I just knocked another leaf off, and you can see this brown tipping here, and that's not good. I might just cut it off and snip it off. Maybe we'll get promoting growth there. But either way, this, we got to watch this closely, but there has to be more growth. So hopefully we'll solve that problem. Okay, folks, this is the 7-year avocado. This is a reed avocado. You can tell because a reed likes to do a curl with their, when it first comes off the seed. But this tree was really very rewarding. I really enjoyed it. And if you had a reed avocado before, it's like cream butter. It's the best. I think it's way better than Haas. But anyways, we're gonna check the roots. I'm not holding too much hope for it. They're all dried up ends, but I think it's toast. So let's check it out. Pretty full with roots for sure. Dang, the roots go way down. I'm really surprised. But yeah, I don't know. It's like oh, look at that root system. You see the roots are all brown. So yeah, the roots are brown. I don't see new growth here. Or look at it, it's not brown. I'm gonna put this in a bucket of water and see how it goes. That's all I got. That's all I can do right now. And you're probably thinking, well, that's crazy. Well, it is, but it also promotes supposedly quicker growth. But now this would be root rot, right? We don't see any whitish new roots. See, look at this. This is what's left. It's brown here, and there's nothing really left of this. Probably would do is I'm gonna trim it off really hard and put it in a bucket of water and see what we got. In fact, I'll do that right now. But this would be there's some in here, but not much. Let's cut this all off. Maybe we'll get lucky. I doubt it. I mean, that's all I can do. Did like it. Well, I tell you, when you do potting, you just get, you think you got this covered, but you get soil all over the place. So anyways, there you have it. That's your root ball. Look at that. That's not much. I mean, I cut a bunch off, obviously, right? So, but anyway, we'll put this in some water for a while, see what happens. I really don't have much hope for it, but here's the roots. They're brown, and there's no life. The soil, it feels moist. The roots seem to hold a lot of moisture, which could be an issue, right? It could be that it's going down to the pot at the corner. So I just think what happens is it can be that the moisture, it always goes to the bottom. And so that's the case. Those roots at the very bottom will die, right? If it's sitting in there soaking. So the top part, right, you water it, it all filters down. So realistically, let's bury this in sand. I mean, that is the difference. I think that's what caught me, partly. I think you can I think it could be a crowded, rooted pot and it'll just do fine. I mean, watch it closely, right? But just maybe you gotta water a little more, but anyways, let's get this in some water. And we'll go from there. Okay, folks, we're gonna just trim this guy back. Pretty dead looking to me. Get some nodes on there. There's some nodes here. And then, yeah, this is already dying off pretty good, so. But it's got a softer tissue, but I'm not hold my breath on it. And this here probably just go like that. But I think this guy is a toasters. There's some green at the very bottom here, if you see that green there? I see the green on that. A little bit of green there, so you never know, I guess. We'll have to wait and see if we can make something magic out of this guy. But anyways, that's kind of where we're at. But I cut that right close to the trunk. As you can see that. Look at down here. Right here, you can see that a little bit of green in there. See that right there? A little bit of green. Here, I'll show you. So we'll see. But drastic measures are being taken place right now. So there you have it. We are going to get this guy some peroxide, hydrogen peroxide. Let me see what we got here. And we're going to do, like I said, we're going to do, I don't have much of this, so let's see what we got here. I'm going to pour this in once. Oh, let's go a half a cup of this. And then we'll do, what, 2 cups of rainwater? Or the rest, the remaining. So a third and a third, right? So that would be half a cup, 1 cup. We'll do 1.5, right up to the 1.5 mark with rainwater. I like rainwater, folks. Perfect, perfect. There it is, the magic concoction. Right there. We'll pour that on there. A little bit more. Okay, perfect. So we'll get this guy nice and happy. There will be some settling, so we'll have to throw some more soil on here later. So there we have it. Let's see if that revives my avocado plant. Right now, I think we're going to have some good results. After, I'll let this settle for maybe a week or two, and then I'll get some surface fertilizer and I'll put it on top of the soil, and then it'll soak eventually down in there. A slow, what do you call it? A slow, slow release fertilizer. I suppose that's kind of the way that I kind of like the idea of by putting it on top, then you just water it, but when it's finally gone, you think, oh, maybe it's time to do some more. It's always hard to keep track. But if you just water like with Miracle Grow, well, when did I last fertilize that? I think I'll just do it now. But if you got a visual down here, if you pour a pile on top of your soil. So anyways, let's see what happens there. I'll give you an update in, say, a month or so and see what we got. Adios, amigos. Bye. Well, folks, a little bonus round here. Since I did some cuttings from my geraniums. Let's take a look at that. So yeah, it's water is effective in promoting growth. So don't kid yourself. Anyways, we'll get another one started here. Throw some soil in here. See what we got here. Holy, we got roots up the gazoo here. So we'll put this guy back in there. Don't got too many roots on that one. But this one here, we got a plenty. This one doesn't have any. Put this guy right in here. Oh, I love the smell of geraniums. Take out these dead leaves here. Love the smell. They got this weird smell to them, but they're great, and they bloom all year long. They're just such a fun plant to deal with. Bring them in the winter time because they will freeze. Just bring them in.